This is an evaluation for the Monologue Slam. I think my strengths for the Monologue Slam were the monologues that I chose. I did two very comedic monologues. One of them I'd written myself based on a therapy session that I kept on dodging bullets and I didn't want to talk about me. I wanted to try and get around it and so that there was less time to talk about me. And obviously I've changed quite a lot of the lines. And added kind of two of the main ones. Which that monologue went down really well. I was really pleased with the outcome that I had. I had audiences that were laughing. I had an audience member that talked back to me when I asked some questions, which kind of gave me the surprise because I didn't expect it. So when he spoke back, I kind of sat there and stared at him and then said my lines, which in fairness kind of made my monologue better. I feel like the last one, it was much better because of that response that I had. It just made the monologue 10 times funnier, 10 times better, and I enjoyed doing that one. My second one I took from a video that our tutor had shown us, which was about a girl on a dating show, and she's very kind of fidgety, very, kind of, she knows what she wants, but she says that she doesn't care, which I'd done that, and then I changed some of the lines so that I could remember it better. And that one got a really good response because everybody was just laughing at it. And I didn't choose to do that monologue until maybe a week or two before the performance because I was planning to do Hamlet. But I was struggling to get it in my head, so I couldn't figure out how I was going to be able to pull it off. And I spoke to my tutor. He said it was completely fine for me to do the second one that I'd chosen because I had learnt it off by heart. So that was quite a good outcome to happen. I tried to push myself with learning the Hamlet monologue. I tried to do it so it wasn't a monologue that I had ever done before. I've normally done really comedic monologues or something really with a lot of hurt, a lot of sadness, a lot of stuff going on. It's kind of been one of those two. So I tried to learn the Hamlet. I learned quite a lot of it. But when it came to putting it on a stage, I really struggled with it. I couldn't figure out the lines. I couldn't figure out how to do it. I wanted to make it comedic, but I couldn't because everybody knew what the monologue was, so they knew the lesson behind it, which made it a little bit harder for me to be able to pull off. But I gave it a go, and I tried, and I took people's advice, but it just wasn't working. It was one of those things that I tried, and I realised it's not something for me. So in turn, I ended up doing my dating show one. Something that helped me a lot with this project was how we would perform it in front of everybody, and then we'd all get feedback. Everybody's monologues were all completely different. None of them were the same. And we'd just chat and we'd give feedback on our monologues, on their monologues. And then if we had time, we'd do it again. And that helped me. I'm a lot better at getting feedback when it's there straight away. So whenever I did mine, I was able to just sit down, listen to the feedback, write it down if I needed, and then, we'd all go up to each other at the end of the session and we'd go, I really liked this, but I also liked this. I think you're better at this than this. That's just my opinion. I think it was talks like those that kind of helped us. And also, throughout the course of the weeks, our tutor would often come over and give us monologues that he thought we could have a go at if we were struggling. And I have many of these monologues because I just kept on taking them. But that also gave me a sense of, it's okay if this monologue doesn't go right, I've got a backup one, which I always now make sure that I've got a backup monologue just in case something goes wrong, just in case something doesn't go the way I planned it or I can't get it into my head. I've always make sure that I've got a backup monologue. So when we were doing 2 monologues, I was actually doing 3 because I was learning another one at the same time to make sure that I had a backup one in case Hamlet went down, which it did. I think that show night, we could have had a better audience. I think that could have been better if we all promoted the show a lot more. Obviously, we had quite a good turnout. We had quite a lot of students come and visit us. We had some family members, but obviously it wasn't what we were expecting and hoping. We were expecting a lot more than what we got. But in saying that, we all pushed through. We all did the performance, which is, it's quite hard to do when you've not got a lot of people in the audience. It's quite hard to just go on stage and do it. So I think that we all did ourselves proud when we went on stage and did the show. Our tutors are saying that if there's less people in the audience than there is in the cast, you don't go on. And he said that we were very close on one of the shows to just not going on stage. But I'm quite happy that we did, because with all shows that we did, we got a great reaction out of them. We had people coming up to us at the end and saying how much they liked us. I had a little girl come up to me and she said that she thought that my monologues were really good and it inspired her to do stuff, and it's kind of stuff like that that makes you really happy that you've still gone on stage even if there's not that many people. But I think that the monologue slam went well. I think definitely if we did it again, we'd have more people shouting out about it and saying stuff. I think maybe some quantity control on some of the monologues, because some of them did get quite dark and put you in a dark mindset, whilst others kind of lifted you up. And I think just because there was kids there and it was all ages, maybe those ones shouldn't have gone on, because they're talking about stuff that kids don't need to know about yet. That's a personal preference of mine. But I think that we wouldn't have changed it anyway because of how it turned out and how the response that we got, which was just amazing. So yeah, I think that it went really well. I think that we all worked together really well as a company. If we did it again, we would change quite a few things. But I think that because we've done it and because it's gone down so well, we don't need to worry about it. So yeah, I think that's everything that I have. Yep.